Welcome back to our channel. In this episode, we are exploring downtown Halifax. This amazing part of the province is completely different than anywhere else you'll be exploring. Throughout the province, you're going to be seeing lots of natural beauty, fishing villages, and things like that. Downtown Halifax is full of culture, a great vibe, and it's just a great spot to do some amazing shopping, have some incredible food. And we just took this opportunity to really explore the water's edge on the boardwalks that surround Halifax. And as you make your way around the boardwalks, you will find amazing spots just to take in the views. Lily was really interested in walking down this particular boardwalk because there were great spots to be able to hang out in hammocks.
I want to find a hammock and sit in.
We'll see if we can find one.
Can or maybe that was so fun.
And we really enjoyed when we made our way over to where a lot of the kind of walk up eateries are. There was actually an amazing salsa lesson that was going on. So we got to enjoy watching that while the sun was setting, and it was absolutely amazing.
Oh, look at how pretty they're dancing.
At the Halifax Waterfront, you can find many different restaurants to be able to walk up and grab a quick bite. And this is where you're going to find more of your quintessential, amazing Nova Scotian food like Dave's lobster rolls, some quick grab seafood, and there's always going to be an option for great ice cream downtown that is made fresh and local. And you cannot forget about your Canadian beaver tails. This is the spot to grab one and enjoy it while walking along the Halifax waterfront.
Oh yeah, look, Lily.
Whoa. Is that an actual whale? Can you want to see it?
We made our way over to the Fairview Lawn Cemetery. This is where 121 victims of the RMS Titanic sinking are interned. When the Titanic sank, Halifax was the closest major seaport with rail connections, and it was the base for ships searching and recovering bodies from the Titanic. Most of the victims are memorialized with a small gray granite cube with a name and date of death, and the grave sites are arranged in the shape of a ship's hull. The Fairview Lawn Cemetery is the largest collection of Titanic victim graves in the world. Next, we headed over to St. Mary's Cathedral Basilica. It is a Gothic Revival cathedral located in the downtown core of Halifax. The Maritime Museum of the Atlantic was a definite must-see for us as we are history buffs and wanted to learn more about the explosion in Halifax, as well as see more of the Titanic exhibits that they have on display here at this awesome museum. On top of that, is extremely affordable and just a great way to spend the day.
And we go. See how it has the reflective glass in it? Touch and see how it has a reflective glass as it makes it shine really, really bright. In here.
The explosion of the Mont Blanc, the Halifax explosion, is the most powerful man-made explosion before the invention of the atomic bomb. The sheer force of the blast flattens a good chunk of Halifax's Richmond district. And where stoves and lamps in those things were knocked over, in those buildings were knocked over, those very quickly started fires that were soon raging all across the city. On top of all that, the shockwave also displaces a bunch of water in the harbor. It exposes the bottom of Halifax Harbor for a moment.
Wow.
And when all that water comes rushing back in, it creates a tsunami that sweeps across the Dartmouth shore and down the Narrows. Turtle Grove, the last surviving Mi'kmaq community in and around Halifax Harbor, was directly in the path of that tsunami, and the community was, for all intents and purposes, wiped out. And on top of all that, the huge cloud of smoke coming up from the Mont Blanc, from the fire, from the explosion, that was full of all sorts of fun and interesting chemicals that began to precipitate later in the day, and it was soon raining black tar all across the city. And on top of that, that night, the city saw the worst blizzard it had seen in years, and had about 40 centimeters of snow dumped on it. 1,800 people were killed, 9,000 were injured, and 6,000 were left homeless under 40 centimeters of snow. And about an hour after this disaster happens, they're able to repair enough of those telegram relays that they can start sending messages down the rail lines, down to Wolfville, to Kentville, to Windsor, saying, load up every single train you have with as many doctors and nurses and medical supplies as you can and get them sent to Halifax as fast as possible. And they do. Trains start getting sent out from all over Nova Scotia, all over Canada. As far away as Boston, they managed to load up 6 trains full of medical supplies and doctors and nurses and get them sent out that night. And with all this relief that starts pouring into the city, it's huge numbers of money from all over the world, workers, building supplies, all these sorts of things. The Halifax Relief Commission gets established to try and manage this giant flow of resources coming into the city, this giant flow of people coming in to rebuild the city. And with all this help that's pouring into Halifax, it works. The disaster is effectively under control within just a few days. The convoy, the Mont Blanc, was trying to join that, depart the city within the week. They're able to start rebuilding almost an apartment an hour from the sheer amount of people who are helping to rebuild the city. Got a lot left behind that's worth remembering. Because, this is a disaster that has marked Halifax in a way that's never going to go away. It's a story of how a city was destroyed and then rebuilt. It's a story of community, people coming together after a terrible disaster to rebuild something like this. And that's very important. It's a story about strength, about resilience.
This museum was absolutely huge, and you could spend an entire day here. Our main focus was the Titanic exhibit and the exhibits showing the history of the Halifax explosion, so we spent most of our time in these 2 areas. This exhibit featured many different pieces that were found floating around the wreckage, and we were really impressed with how they displayed everything where you really felt immersed in this history.
I can just look in the door.
You just peek in. Wow.
After an awesome time exploring around Halifax, we decided to make our way towards our cottage and stopped at Peggy's Cove along the way. This is a must see if you have never been to Peggy's Cove because it is truly quintessential Nova Scotia and really one of the most popular tourist destinations. And you absolutely will enjoy your time here. There is an incredible gift shop. So if you're looking for some different souvenirs to take home, this is a great spot to stop and check out at the Sou'wester. This is also a great spot just to get some great photos and just take in the sights. Today was a bit foggy when we went by, but it was still beautiful nonetheless. Hi, everybody. It is Wednesday, August 28th, and we have left Halifax and decided to stop by Peggy's Cove on the way back. It's a foggy and windy and cold day, but it is absolutely beautiful. It's 15 degrees Celsius today.
Yeah, very foggy and windy, but it's still beautiful. Make sure to bring a jacket. But
yes,
Like
and
this
pull your hair
one.
back. I learned that today. Came back to my hair being completely knotted up. So make sure that you come prepared with a jacket, and just be aware that it is very, very windy and it can be cooler here. So, but it was absolutely stunning. We had a great time. Grabbed our ornaments for our souvenirs because they have a great shop here
We
as
got
well.
some lighthouses.
We sure did.
one for Lily's tree.
Yeah, one for Lily's tree, one for ours, because we're big Christmas people. So very excited about that. We also are very excited to get to our cottage so we can get all of this out of here. We have been riding around with it for 5-6 days now. So we're definitely ready to get to our cottage. We are about 2 hours and 45 minutes from there. So we're going to be heading that way, and we're very excited.
Yeah, we start doing all the little day trips from the cottage and check out places. And
Yeah.
we just decided to stop here because we were in Halifax, so it made more sense just to go ahead and swing by Peggy's Cove and then head to our cottage versus coming back up here.
Yes, absolutely. So I hope you guys enjoy the images of Peggy's Cove, and it's pretty busy today, but it's not crazy. I don't think any of the cruise ship buses are in right now. There's one bus here, but mostly everybody just kind of making their way through. So it was absolutely perfect, beautiful day. Very excited that we got to come by and check it out, and we'll be sharing more later.
Yep.
Thank you so much for watching, and please be sure to like and subscribe to continue our journey through Nova Scotia and exploring this amazing province.